Well, that was quick. Hello, and hello, YouTube. This is Stephen, and I'll first appear on the screen. Hello, this is Stephen from wonderful Wiltshire in England with today's broadcast on the OneStream Live YouTube channel, and I'm just waiting for confirmation that everything is okay. Right, okay, so those that know will know that I actually play the broadcast on my phone, so that I know I've got vision, I've got sound, and everything's working okay, which means I can carry on with the broadcast in the knowledge that you can actually hear me, because it's important in live broadcasting to make sure that things are working. And the way to do that is simple and straightforward. With a scheduled show, I can go straight to YouTube, I can go to the video, and I can turn up the volume, and as soon as I go live, the mobile phone will start playing, and it will play what I'm playing, but there's a 20-second lag in between, which is the processing time from the signal leaving my home in Wiltshire to arriving at the servers at OneStream and then the servers at Facebook. It's still a black box thing, and this live broadcasting is truly magical, and that's why I appreciate it so much when everything works perfectly. And it's all down to testing beforehand, and I'll come on to that later in today's broadcast. But today, what we're looking at is seasonal streaming tips. Now, we are in a particular season. If I go here, we are in Christmas season. We're heading that way. We've just had Black Friday and Cyber Monday. There are no sales between now and then, but you can theme things now. You can start planning your Christmas shows, and not that the shows have to go out live. I've got a show, one of these shows, which is actually going out on the 20th of December. Now, in the UK, we'll be sat down at 3 o'clock eating turkey, but I will be live with a pre-recorded video on that day. Now, you can mix between live video and pre-recorded video. Anyway, it's about time to bring on today's agenda and the things we're going to be looking at today, so you've got some idea of what's going to be happening. And if I bring the agenda over here, okay, so the introduction is what we're doing at the moment. We're then going to talk about the season's national holidays are a great time to actually theme a show, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Special events, corporate-wise, product launches, major announcements, events and conferences, educational videos around a particular theme, content planners. Just let me connect the chat. Okay, so many moving parts in this studio. You've got to make sure everything's working, and I can now say officially, hello everyone. That was my comment on YouTube about 5 minutes before I came live. Okay, now we're going to be talking about content planning, which is the theme of today, which is plan your Amazon Live content. But when we say Amazon Live, it could well be, well, it can be any system, but I actually broadcast an Amazon Live every Monday and Friday. So we're going to talk about Amazon and how to present on Amazon, then organize an event team. Now, I do this broadcast solo. I mean, it's just me on screen with whatever I bring in, which could be images, text. It could be, well, let's try and bring in, if I go here, I just need to open something up in a new tab. Yeah, I'm just going to open it because I've forgotten to do something. So bear with me a second while this loads. I've forgotten to do something. Remiss of me. Okay. And whilst that's loading, and it shouldn't be as long. Okay, it's coming through now. We just need to complete the set. So I'm going to copy that. And we're going to go over here. This is making alterations on the fly. I'm going to go there. I'm going to add a ticker. That's the ticker I'm going to and add, and it's here at the bottom of the screen. Today's seasonal strategies. Plan your Amazon Live content calendar with Stephen. This is what we're doing today. Just going through the agenda so that if you caught the beginning of this broadcast, you know what the broadcast is going to be about. Now, as I say, I do all this broadcasting live and appearing on screen, but I don't do this alone. I'm one of a team, and my job is to actually present the show, research and present the show. But there are people in the OneStream live team, the marketing team, who are helping, well, organizing and helping. And I want to say a shout out and a thank you to everybody who does the graphics, who does the show titles, everything. Okay, teamwork. And you can build a team around you for a particular broadcasting season. Okay, so let's bring this back over here. Just finishing off running through the agenda. So if you can get a team together, because with OneStream Live, you can have a team behind you organizing things. The only thing they can't do is come into the studio, but they can create broadcasts, they can set destinations, they can do everything that you can do as the owner of the account. And then we're going to talk about scheduling on the calendar. And for an event, you've got to prepare for every single broadcast. Then you've got the live broadcast itself, and then there's a post-event follow-up. Now, that's something that most people forget, is to actually follow up after you've done a live event. It is so important. So back to me, and I'm going to come here. One of the great ways, because people often say, oh, I don't know what to broadcast about. Well, the first place to look is the calendar. And if I just bring this in here, I'm just going to replace the media. You could actually use the calendar as your guide. So different seasons throughout the year. And this is a UK-based calendar. I'll show you the USA calendar in a moment. But if you were doing broadcast in the UK, you can theme a broadcast around New Year's Day, around 12th night. Valentine's Day is always a good time to be broadcasting, to theme a show on Amazon around Valentine's Day broadcast and bringing in Valentine's gifts that people can buy and give to their loved ones. 4th of March is Shrove Tuesday, otherwise known as Pancake Day in the UK. And that's when people use up all the food before Lent and make pancakes. I prefer savory pancakes. That's the 4th of March, 2025. These are all next year days. St. Patrick's Day is 17th of March. Now celebrated obviously in Ireland, in England, and the USA, and that's an international date. Well, that's the Northern Ireland date. Mother's Day. Now, you find that Mother's Day is different around the world. The Mother's Day in the UK is 30th of March next year, which is quickly followed by Easter. And you have Good Friday and Easter Monday, and you could center broadcasts around those. Good Friday and Easter Monday. We have early bank holidays, bank holiday broadcast, things to take on your trip away for those 2 days. Father's Day is on the 15th of June in the UK, and the King's birthday, King Charles' birthday, is on the 21st of June. All of these are seasons, are themes that you can actually build a broadcast around. If you're in Northern Ireland, 12th of July was the Battle of the Boyne, and that's the 12th, 14th of July. It's a bank holiday in Scotland on the 4th, so you could celebrate that. And it's a summer bank holiday in England. And then, of course, internationally, we have Halloween. We did the Halloween broadcast a couple of months ago. That's always a good season to actually broadcast and to actually get goods in relation to that. Guy Fawkes Day is something which is peculiar to the UK. We celebrate the attempted blowing up of the Houses of Parliament. And then Remembrance Sunday is a time to remember those who gave their lives so that we could be where we are now. In Scotland, St Andrew's Day, and then St Andrew's Day is observed on the 1st as well. And then we've got where we're headed now. Christmas Day next year is 24th December, 25th is Christmas Day and Boxing Day. And then New Year's Eve is on the 31st. Now, these are all, let's go here. These are all dates you can actually enter your broadcast around. Now, if I go here, I'm just going to change because that's the UK version. Now, these calendars are different for every single country. So let's go over here and we'll go picture in picture again and switch this around. Okay. And nope. I'm going to remove that from stream. I'm getting confused here. Just give me a second. And put that full screen. Okay, so finally got it. I misdirected myself. Okay, so we're here, and basically what we have is US holidays in 2025. And I'm just going to bring those up on screen so you can see them. So these are the major holidays in 2025. Now, there's not as many as in the UK, has to be said, but events that we can celebrate, and you can put your broadcasts around the season, you put your broadcasts around New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day on the 20th of January, Inauguration Day, which is also on the 20th of January, Valentine's Day on the 14th of February is international, and President's Day is on the 17th. St. Patrick's Day, as we said earlier, is on the 17th of March, and the tax day, these are dates for your calendar. Tax day, due date is April 15th. Easter is on April 21st through 20th through 21st. Good Friday is the Friday before. Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, and Mother's Day is on May 11th. These are US dates in 2025. Memorial Day, and then Flag Day. Father's Day is June 15th. Juneteenth is on June 19th. July the 4th is Independence Day. September 1st is Labor Day. And October 13th is Columbus Day. And then we come to the common celebrations, which are Halloween on 31st of October, Election Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day. Black Friday next year is on November the 28th, Christmas Eve on the 24th, Christmas Day on the 25th. And those are the dates that we can broadcast on next year. So those are 2025 public holidays and dates. And the thing is, if you go here, just let me copy a link for you. If you want to know anything about time and date, you can actually go here, and I'm going to go to chat and time and date. And paste that in. So that should go through to the chat on YouTube. That's the link. The UK holiday dates and the USA holiday dates are all available on timeanddate.com. Yeah, and don't get confused and put date and time, as I did. Put timeanddate.com, and then you'll get a list of all the holidays, which you can then work your broadcast towards. And the information is coming from timeanddate.com, and it is a very handy site to remember, because if you want to know when the holidays are, go to timeanddate.com and the holidays will be there. And so we've covered when you can broadcast, and we've mentioned timeanddate.com. Basically, you can center a broadcast around any date that I've just shown you. and you can theme that broadcast for that date. So there are many dates in the UK and in the US where you know you're going to have a topic to talk about and an audience. As far as topics are concerned, you can go and you can use a search engine to find out when everything is happening around the world. So if you want to broadcast to Australia, remember the time difference, and you can find out all the dates which are in Australia. There's time and date allows you to go global and broadcast to specific territories, specific times. If you broadcast to Australia, then it's unlikely that anybody in the US or UK will be awake when you're broadcasting. But they will catch the replay on YouTube. So, theme broadcast. I broadcast twice a week on Amazon Live, and the theme that I'm heading towards is Christmas. My broadcast starting next Monday will be Christmas themed, and I will take my studio and I will change the theme. But the thing is, how do you actually plan? How do you actually plan for all your broadcasts? You need a calendar. You need a broadcasting calendar. Now, you can set up a broadcasting calendar on Google Calendar. Okay, you can title it My Broadcasts, and then you can put the dates in when you're going to broadcast. You can also then put the dates in when you're going to prepare, because a broadcast is preparation, live broadcast, and follow-up. Those are the three key events: preparation, live, and follow-up. And basically, you can calendar those. Now, I tend to prepare the day before. So I'd calendar the day before the broadcast. I would then calendar the broadcast off and schedule it at the same time. And what I would be doing on the day before the broadcast is planning, which is what I've been doing for the last 24 hours, is planning this broadcast today. And they're all dates in the calendar, because you've got to think ahead, because you could be doing something now for a broadcast not due to go until Valentine's Day. But there's no reason why you shouldn't plan for Valentine's Day. And I'm going to show you a piece of software which will help you plan anything, anytime. And in fact, what we'll do is I'm going to go now. I'm in my OneStream live studio. I can play video. So I'm going to go over to media. Now, when I broadcast, everything is planned. This broadcast is planned from the day that I find out what I'm going to talk about, which is the Friday before, and then Tuesday I actually do all the research. Wednesday I get ready for production, and then go live at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK. All of that is on my planner. Now, you can use Google Calendar for planning, but I use a system called Notion.so, and I used to have other systems. Now I make such use of Notion, as I'm going to show you now. So let's look at a system which will record your broadcasting calendar, allow you to plan as well. Towards the end of this well, I'm not going to spoil the surprise. This is my broadcasting calendar. This is the content planner for Stephen, and it's on Notion.so. Which is a payable platform, but in terms of what you can do with it, you're about to find out. Now, the platforms that I broadcast to are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, Amazon, Medium, I recorded video, YouTube, and then we've got the track and update section, which organizes my ideas, the things I'm working on, things I'm currently editing, and the broadcasts that are actually scheduled. And if you scroll down, that's then further organized into whether it's live video or an article, and I can put tags on it. So this is the organization of the events. And then we are down to the calendar. This is my broadcasting calendar for December 2024. And we can see content planning is in there. It's an integral part of every single broadcast we do. Then the broadcast itself has been scheduled. Then I'm going to go back to content planning afterwards. I've got Amazon Live on Monday, the 16th and 23rd. I'm on OneStream Live on the 18th and the 25th, although the 25th will be recorded. And then I'm going to do a New Year broadcast on Facebook. So how does all the content get there? There is a grid, and I just simply enter the name, the status, the type. So this is content planning, editing. It's an article, and it's completed virtually. I'm live this afternoon, and that's the broadcast. Then we can go down and we can see Amazon Live is into my broadcasting schedule. Blubbing for Britain's in my broadcasting schedule. My OneStream live shows are all there. So I know what I'm going to be doing. Now, in terms of getting this around specific special dates in our calendars, then you can see that you can adapt and adopt this calendar system. So let's just go through it again. I've got where I'm broadcasting to. I've got items I'm tracking and updating as I go along. This is a living document. Then down to the calendar itself. And then finally, we have the data input, which is in the content grid there. Now, just stay with Notion for a moment. I also use Notion to actually organize today's show. And there is the show. I've got my research underneath. That's where I get my details from. And then down the bottom, if I scroll down, apologies for the speed of this, but I'm just going to scroll down the page and we're going to get to, this is all my preparation for today's broadcast. I'm going to get to somewhere under here. There we are, the agenda for today. So I can use, all my research is in Notion. All my broadcast planning is in Notion. Notion is a very useful piece of software. And it's back to me, notion.so. Let me just put in. So if I go to the chat and I go here, okay, so notion.so, not question mark, replace the arrow. So let's try again, shall we? Good. I got it right this time. What I meant to say was Notion.so I use for my broadcasting calendar and for all my research for the broadcasts. So it's basically, it's an all-in-one toolkit. There are so many things that you can do with Notion, so many pre-prepared templates you can use, free and paid. System itself is paid. You can pay monthly or annually. And Notion.so I've been using for several months now for every single broadcast that I do. And it just works, especially building up agendas. So if I take that off screen and then I bring back our agenda, which is down here. Okay, so I'm going to add this to the stream. I'm going to take myself off solo in 3, 2, 1. So the agenda is there, and I'm just going to switch myself like so. And in a second, take that up there, and we've got the agenda at the top and me underneath. Okay, the agenda card, which you can see above, all the agenda cards are actually created on canva.com. That's where those come from. Now, in terms of planning, Canva have their own content planning system. So in terms of where you can get planners from, I'll come to in a minute. National holidays we've just looked at. We've looked at holidays in the US and we've looked at holidays in the UK. And if you want to know the holidays, then all you need to do is go to timeanddate.com, and that will tell you the holidays for every country around the world. It will also tell you the time around the world. I know, for instance, that it's now 3:24 in the UK, which means that it's 10:24 on the West Coast. Okay, that's the sort of thing that you can use date and time for. What was that? Time date. Time and date. Okay, let's go here. So national holidays, you can discover the holidays for any place around the world on that website. And you can theme a broadcast around a particular holiday. I just want to record. I think we've lost the recording. The recording seems to have stopped. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Okay, I'll check that out afterwards. That's thrown me a little bit. Where was? Oh, right. No, as a company, you can theme. You can have your own season for product launches, your own season for major announcements, events and conferences, and educational. And that's where you're actually theming your broadcast for your company around those topics. A new product or service, a major announcement about your company, the events and conferences you hold during the year, educational broadcasts you can do anytime. You can say, right, next month is my company's educational month, and we'll be training you on every aspect of the services and products that we provide. So you could set your own season. When we say plan your Amazon Live content, I mean it, but it's also everything I'm talking about relates to any event that you're actually organizing. In terms of content planners, because you do need to write everything down and you need to share it with your team. Google Calendar, you can share Google Calendar with your team and allow people to make entries on the calendar. And we just know that every event that you're planning needs preparation, a live broadcast, and post-event follow-up. So there should be at least 3 dates on the calendar for every event that you're doing. Canva Content Planner, I looked at the other day. It is reasonably comprehensive. It's ideal if you're actually using social media to plan your event. So, and to actually promote your event. Canva is great for marketing your event before the event takes place, because you can actually create the graphics on Canva, schedule them to go out to Facebook, Twitter, well, not Twitter, where you can schedule them to go out from within Canva. And then the system that I showed you, which is underlined, which is Notion.so, and that to me it's a Swiss knife of information systems, because you can combine YouTube video, you can combine graphics and text, and I mean basically the way that I work, just in terms of actually planning, is the way that I work in terms of planning is basically decide what you're going to talk about and then go and do your research. I put my research into Notion.so, and my aim is to create the agenda for today's broadcast. But it doesn't just happen. I need to do my research. So what I do to start off my research is I go to ChatGPT. And if I type my question into ChatGPT, it will give me answers. And it gives me short form paragraph headings and then an explanation underneath. And then I ask it another question along the same lines, just twisting things slightly to see if I've missed anything. That comes through, and all this information is stored on Notion.so. So I'm using that as my primary place to consolidate all the information. And then the morning of this broadcast, I go through that information and I build my agenda for the day, and I create my videos the morning before, the video you watched earlier. So I'm continually in a planning, go live, and then afterwards. Okay. Now, and Notion is the best tool that I've found for that. So that's why I'm promoting it, because it works and it's helped me so much over recent times. Okay, now the next one down. So we've got our content planners. You can test them all out. Google Calendar you can try for free. Canva you can take the trial version. Notion You take a trial version and then you can upgrade to the paid version, which is exactly what I did. Now, if you're planning a season, of broadcasts, then you can either do it solo or you can involve other people. Especially if it's a corporate broadcast, you'll have your design team involved, you'll have your planning, the content, you'll have the promotion of the content, so many different departments. You can use Notion to bring everybody together, but there's so many things to be done before you actually go live and do the broadcast like I'm doing now. And the more you write things down, the more you share with people, the better you get to know the content, the better they know the content, and you can work out your individual roles before the broadcast, during the broadcast, and after the broadcast. You can, well, delegate. Okay, because although I mean, I totally enjoy broadcasting solo, but it is good occasionally to be part of a team. Well, I am broadcasting solo, but I'm not solo. The graphics that we saw earlier, and I'm going to bring them on screen now. It all starts with the graphics team being given a set of instructions, and they bring together the graphic which covers today's show. Now, you need a graphic for every seasonal broadcast that you do, and professionally created graphics have more impact than ones that you do yourself. Just to bear that in mind. So the graphics are important. The agenda is important. I'm just going to go take that off, put that there, and go side by side here. So let's go down and go back to the menu. Let's just switch the menu in and come over here and make the menu bigger so that we can all see it. I'm going to bring it back up here. Okay. So organizing a team can help you in all this. Okay, now when you decide that you're going to broadcast, you schedule it on your calendar. And that's basically a decision of the title of the broadcast, the details of the broadcast, the date you're going to broadcast, who's actually going to be live, and the way you're going to broadcast to. Now, we've spoiled for choice. If you're using OneStream Live, you can broadcast up to 45 different destinations. And that gives, you can broadcast everywhere that you have an account, a social media account. Concentrate on those where you have a social media following. Okay, so if you're very active on Facebook, broadcast on Facebook. If you're very active on LinkedIn, broadcast on LinkedIn. If you are active on Twitch, broadcast on Twitch. Okay, and you need to prepare for the broadcast. In terms of preparing for the broadcast, every broadcast needs the graphic I showed you earlier, and it needs an agenda. Between those two, it needs you to do the research and be able to talk about the topic knowledgeably. And basically, that's a question of researching. Use ChatGPT, use Gemini. Take your favorite search tool. You're not going to be reading out the text from ChatGPT. You actually just take the titles, but it does help in building up the agenda. Okay, the agendas that I put together are a combination of suggestions from ChatGPT and what I myself know and how I operate. So when I talk about Notion.so, I'm talking about, I use it personally. When I talk about Google Calendar, I use that personally. When I talk about Canva, I use Canva, but I haven't used the content management tool yet. But if you're on the paid version of Canva, it's available to you. And we're coming up and coming up to scheduling on your calendar. Once you've worked out when and where you're going to broadcast, you can schedule it on your calendar, and then you can prepare for the broadcast. You can go live as I'm doing now, and then you can post an event follow-up. Now, everything that I've done today is centered around two pieces of software. One is OneStream Live, which I'm broadcasting from now. Okay, and OneStream Live allows me to broadcast live as I'm doing. It allows me to have the recording and to play the recording later. And then the other two we've talked about is Notion.so, which in terms of planning gives you the freedom to plan and change plans as things evolve. And I'm just going to play the video, and this is an explanation of Notion.so and how it can help you, and how it certainly helped me in recent. This is the content planner for Stephen, and it's on Notion.so, which is a payable platform. But in terms of what you can do with it, you're about to find out. Now, the platforms that I broadcast to are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, Amazon, Medium, I recorded video, YouTube, and then we've got the track and update section, which organizes my ideas, the things I'm working on, things I'm currently editing, and the broadcasts that are actually scheduled. And if you scroll down, that's then further organized into whether it's live video or an article, and I can put tags on it. So this is the organization of the events. And then we are down to the calendar. This is my broadcasting calendar for December 2024. And we can see content planning is in there. It's an integral part of every single broadcast we do. Then the broadcast itself has been scheduled. Then I'm going to go back to content planning afterwards. I've got Amazon Live on Monday, the 16th and 23rd. I'm on OneStream Live on the 18th and the 25th, although the 25th will be recorded. And then I'm going to do a New Year broadcast on Facebook. So how does all the content get there? There is a grid, and I just simply enter the name, the status, the type. So this is content planning, editing. It's an article and it's completed virtually. I'm live this afternoon, and that's the broadcast. Then we can go down and we can see Amazon Live is into my broadcasting schedule. Blabbing for Britain's in my broadcasting schedule. My OneStream live shows are all there. So I know what I'm going to be doing. Now, in terms of getting this around specific special dates in our calendars, then you can see that you can adapt and adopt this calendar system. So let's just go through it again. I've got where I'm broadcasting to. I've got items I'm tracking and updating as I go along. This is a living document. Then down to the calendar itself. And then finally, we have the data input, which is in the content grid there. Now, just stay with Notion for a moment. I also use Notion to actually organize today's show. And there is the show. I've got my research underneath. That's where I get my details from. And then down the bottom, if I scroll down, apologies for the speed of this, but I'm just going to scroll down the page, and we're going to get to, this is all my preparation for today's broadcast. I'm going to get to somewhere under here. There we are, the agenda for today. So I can use, all my research is in Notion. All my broadcast planning is in Notion. Notion is a very useful piece of software. And it's back to me, and here is Notion.so, and just try it out. Try the free version, and you notice that you can do almost anything in it. I was able to do my research for today's broadcast, and that's where I keep my broadcast calendar, so I can keep on top of things. Because with special events and planning your Amazon, in terms of planning an Amazon broadcast, you know what you're going to be doing, and the only thing you have to decide when to go live. As an Amazon insider, you can broadcast on Amazon Live anytime you want, any day of the week, anytime. So you can choose the time. That's the important thing. I would choose a time when, well, I'm going to say this, when you're most widely awake and when you're in the mood. Broadcasting on Amazon means you have to be front and center. You've got to be up for it. Yeah, you've got to be in the right mood. You've got to be able to communicate. You've got to be able to tell your stories. Now, in terms of telling your stories, it means doing your research before you go live, because you've got to be able to talk about product. You've got to talk about the products that you're selling on Amazon. So these are Aftershokz Aeropex headphones. They're light, they only weigh 28 grams, they're waterproof. You can hear the world around you whilst you're wearing them. You've got to have all the benefits and features to hand. Okay, now this comes through practice, through reading. I mean, there's a lot of information on Amazon on each of the product pages. Now, you don't have to memorize the product page, but what you shouldn't do is to actually show a product page during an Amazon live broadcast. On an Amazon live broadcast, people come to see you and to hear your stories about the product and your experiences with the product. Yeah, it's important to know about the product that you're actually marketing on Amazon, because you're going to get questions. People will ask you questions about products. You've got to be prepared to answer them. If you can't answer a question, then take it on advisement and come back to it either later in the broadcast or in the next broadcast you do. Okay, you've got to be at least one step ahead of everybody who's actually watching you in terms of being able to talk about product, whether you're talking about headphones, whether you're talking about a particular stand, whether you're talking about Samsung Galaxy Ultra phone. You've got to know the products. That's the preparation, knowing the products, because the products will appear below you in a carousel. So you can choose the products to suit the occasion. So if you're doing a Valentine's broadcast, then what you want is gifts for him to her, from him to him, and from her to him. Yeah, a selection of gifts that people can buy during your broadcast. And remember, a broadcast is watched on replay as well. So you can do a Valentine's broadcast the day before and it will be replayed throughout Valentine's Day itself, or you can go live on Valentine's Day, or you can do, you forgot to send something, do it now, and you do that on the 15th of February. In terms of Amazon's Prime days, those are a great time to actually be live and marketing. And then, of course, we've got Black Friday and Cyber Monday, which were last month. You've got many opportunities on Amazon Live of actually broadcasting and selling. And you plan them and you go and you run with it. You get yourself in the right mood. Okay. Now, just to go through the agenda again, I'm just going to bring the agenda on screen. And I'm going to take myself off solo. And that should bring us to me and the agenda. So there's the agenda. We talked about the introduction. We talked about national holidays. And in terms of creating your own season, if you go to timeanddate.com, you can find national holidays for any country around the world, USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, and you can build your own seasons broadcasts around the events that are taking place in a particular country. Special events, you can create your own special events. As far as your company is concerned, anytime you launch a product or make major announcements or have events and conferences or an educational run, you can build and plan a season around that. Again, the content planners you can use are Google Calendar, Canva Content Planner, Notion.so. If you can, build a team to actually help you with the broadcast and schedule everything on the calendar, on the planner, the preparation the day before, the weeks before, the day of the live broadcast, and don't forget that you can replay the recording as well. So it's not just when you go in live, this is quite honestly, going live is the best way of creating content. because after this live broadcast, I can replay this live broadcast across all my social media easily. This is golden. I can take this video, download it, edit it, and make snippets out of it. This is basically a way of promoting your company through live video and the use of the recordings from that live video. And then post about follow-up. When we livecast, we do it to generate interest and to get people involved in what we're doing, telling our stories. What we want to do afterwards is to contact those people or do a follow-up broadcast. Yeah, if you're doing broadcast to a OneStream landing page, you can have an email sign up on it. Yeah, so you've got a OneStream live landing page, and you can broadcast on the page. You can invite people to watch, and they can sign up for your email list whilst they're watching. There are so many ways that you can do this. Yeah, not only have we got the ability to broadcast to social media, but you can broadcast to a OneStream live page or to your web page. All of this is available within OneStream Live and the replays as well. Right, you've been watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England, talking about planning your Amazon live content calendar. And it's not just about Amazon. This could be Etsy. This could be anything you like. Creating a content calendar, planning your broadcasting, keeping in control, staying on top of everything. My voice is going. I'm going. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye for now. I'm recording. Thank you, OneStream Live. Great quality again. Bye for now.